Going on, everybody? Welcome back to another amazing episode of Beyond the Crete. Super excited for today's guest for a lot of different reasons. But as you guys know, here on Beyond the Crete, it's all about leveling up the industry. So if you're in flat work, stamp work, decorative ceiling, or concrete coatings, we're about trying to take your average business and making sure that you guys are more profitable every single year that you're doing business, increasing revenue, and making sure that you're learning tips and tricks from the industry veterans on how to grow and scale your business efficiently. Well, today's no different. Super excited for an absolute genius in the marketing and digital ad agency space, personal friend of mine, coach with me. So again, guys, without further delay, please welcome Danny Barrera to the podcast. Thank you, sir.
Pete, thank you for having me here. It's an honor to be with all of you in this podcast.
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, my pleasure's mine. I know we've been trying to work on this one for a while.
I know, right? We hang out every week and we can't find a time for a podcast.
Ain't that the truth? Yeah. So, but no, I'm super excited because this one everybody needs because we got a lot to deep dive into a lot of topics that are really important. But first things first, kind of give the 2-minute bio, kind of who you are and what you do.
Beautiful. My name is Danny Barrera. I am a father. I'm a husband. I'm a leader. I'm a marketer. I get to serve other individuals grow their business and growing their journey. And it's exciting to be where I'm at right now. Like I was looking back, how far I've come, and God has been incredible. Throughout this journey, it's been peaks and valleys. My father was a concrete construction contractor back in El Salvador. So growing up, like it was dirt in the weekends and the back of the pickup truck with a whole bunch of construction guys, and those were fun times. He never let me touch a piece of equipment. He's like, "Stay away. You just need to come here because no one can look after you." But I remember those days. And then he got into polishing. Back in the late '90s, there was no machinery like there is today. It was not even close. But I remember he would take care of the El Salvador airports, shopping centers, and the polishing process was way different than what it is today. Like they would spend a long time, months working on these big floors. And that was my upbringing in the trades, because people always ask, it's like, hey, what's your relation to concrete construction? And a hardworking man. And those were some of the times that I got to spend with him. Later on, we ended up coming to the United States. He became a full-time pastor into ministry, and we started traveling, and we ended up here in the United States. And make the long story short, I ended up going into technology. Ended up working at Fox News Channel for about 7 years. I was an IT analyst there, and there I learned that there was a world called e-commerce. Like I actually saw a guy that was saying I was making millions of dollars doing drop shipping. And this was back when there was no Shopify stores. It took you months just to get a payment processor to approve your payment processing. And I dove in. I asked him a question in the green room, and that was the first level of awareness in the marketing world. And to be able to see that people would buy online and they could pay. There was no Amazon as popular as it is today. Amazon existed, but not at the level that it is today. Mobile devices. I don't know if you remember the Blackberries. That was the thing back then when I started. Yeah. So the internet experience was desktop, laptop. I learned how to market through there with my own money. I lost a lot of money in the e-commerce world, made some money, ended up selling my stores to the wholesalers that would drop ship for me, because I'm like, I can't figure this out. I'm already at a loss here. Take it. I got to pay my debt on credit cards, because I didn't know how to manage the store's revenue. And it ended up getting calls from friends, and people would recommend me, hey, this guy knows how to do websites, SEO. And that became the entry point for getting into helping other businesses out. And then ended up making some money, losing some money, and got to a point where I came to Florida. I told my wife, hey, I'm ready to quit Fox News. Let's go all into the marketing agency. That became the journey of this really reinvention and rediscovery for me into my calling. I ended up getting divorced, going through divorce, and losing it all, sleeping in my car. And this reinvention window was like nothing was working for me at that point in time. So I sought out mentors as best as I could. There's Josh Nelson from Seven Figure Agency just popped on my Facebook feed, and he's like, "You should launch your marketing agency in a niche, in a vertical." So, anyways, I relaunched the marketing agency under Concrete Marketing Crew, and that became the journey because I'm like, I'm tired of dealing with doctors and attorneys and like all these other people that, I just couldn't make it work, and ended up focusing in concrete contractors, and that became back 2017ish into 2018. That's where the brand really started to rise, and ever since then, we've been serving the concrete industry, home improvement contractors, and here we are today. We've served over 500 clients at this point in time. We did calculations from last year's revenue impact into the economy for our clients, and we've already crossed $400 million mark of worth of sold projects through our marketing efforts, and that's under Concrete Marketing Guru and Contractor Click. And to be able to participate in the economy at that scale, man, I'm proud of the journey, and that's what I'm saying. God has been through it all along, and to be able to just pinch myself and say, how could this kid from El Salvador create this level of impact and lead, a team and growing and going through so many things. And it's exciting, man. I love to see our clients win. I love to serve, and I love marketing, and I love what I do.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, that kind of sums up most of everything right now. So, I mean, but we're not wrapping it up here, guys. We got a lot more to dig into. So, again, we kind of talk, like you said, the past, the present, the future. So, if we kind of go back to those early days, right? Like, yeah, it was rough, though, and no doubt about it. For you in starting contractor, no, sorry, the concrete marketing coup, kind of right in those early days, like, how was marketing? What was the main thing in marketing? Was it Facebook? Was it Google? Was it SEO? Like, what was marketing like?
SEO,
Yeah.
back in 2018 for sure. I mean, you had Facebook ad, it was more on its infancy, and I'll tell you what the biggest shift and difference has occurred. And I'm sure you'll notice marketing works in like you have the market itself, then you have the media, and then you have the message. And what people fail to understand is that that's going to be true regardless what day and age we live in. And when I look at the media, how it's evolved, Facebook was not as trustworthy as it is as a platform in today's day and age, where you ask how many people in the church, you literally ask how many of you have a Facebook account, and you're going to have the greater majority of people with a Facebook account. And how many of you have seen an ad on Facebook? How many of you have shopped from a Facebook ad? You're gonna have those hands raised. If you did that same survey back in 2017, 2018, people would have told you, we look things up on Google. So Google was a sure thing in terms of generating revenue. Now, if you're in the concrete coating space, that was the wild, wild west when you can run an ad, boost a post, and make a lot of money because you could create a lot of messages, and the return on advertising spend, I calculated it was sometimes in the 30x
Whoa.
return on ad spend. Yeah, it was nuts, and it's nowhere near that point in time today. You could spend $500, and all of the sudden you find yourself, man, I'm making $75,000 worth of work out of a $500 boosted post. And that was if you knew how to do that back then. Not a lot of people knew how to do it, but Google search was a sure thing for us at Contractor Click, and we specialized in that. I leveraged what I knew on Google search, and we became popular for that service. And then website design. So everyone needs a website, regardless whether it was back then or today. But back then, creating beautiful concrete websites, there was not a lot of agencies doing concrete marketing, as in the niche and serving the vertical that understood driveways, patios, indoors, outdoors, foundation repair versus foundation pours, concrete resurfacing over. That conversation was like, just
Yeah.
went over marketers' head. And when people knew what we did, they came to us, and we grew via word of mouth and strategic partnerships inside of the decorative concrete industry. So, just in a nutshell, Google has been there, all along, but it's evolved for sure from back 2017, 2018 to where it is right now, the consumer, the way that they buy, how they consume media, what they respond to. So
So, taking your agency and stuff back then, obviously your expertise in SEO, right? I mean, that's kind of like your first thing you do back then, build a website, start pumping SEO.
mhm,
Um,
yes.
like Google, Google's always been, at least for me, the number one SEO engine, right? The Google search engine, obviously,
Yes.
right? So there's obviously Yahoo and Bing and all the blah, blah, DuckDuckGo and whatever there is. But like when you're first starting back then, um, was that your play, right? SEO, and you could kind of organically, because your knowledge kind of organically did it, or was there paid ads that could go reach more contractors? Because that back then, at least contractors like myself, we were on Google, but like I wasn't actively like searching Google, right? Like I don't know, like it's different than it is today because the internet's changed, right? So what did you find your success back then?
Yeah. So it was strategically. I mean, the majority of our clients came to us. They were under $1 million. And I would say large percentage, they always come to us under $1 million. And even if we said, hey, we're going to be able to scale you up to seven figures, multi seven figures, paid advertising for any listener out there, paid advertising is the way to scale. But getting found on the organic, that gives you a good solid base. And the tricky part is not every territory has the search volume. So to your point, it's like, what do we pick? If a territory has no search volume, and I'm going to apply to the coding side here, um, a lot of homeowners, they don't search for concrete coatings. They might search for epoxy flooring contract or epoxy flooring installer, epoxy flooring near me, all those terms. That's what we look for is where are people, what are people searching for that it's relating to the client service. And what we used to do is we used to call it flip the search. And basically, we knew a lot of people were searching for resurfacing and overlays, and we would rank all these concrete coating websites for resurfacing overlays. Now I see more people doing that in the SEO world, but those were easy rankings. And when it comes to outdoor coatings, that was the thing. We would get our clients found for pool deck resurfacing, pool deck overlays, and then it would be all about coatings. And clients would be like, "Man, I love these $20,000 jobs. Give me more of those." And that became a thing for us to grow through the search. But the scaling piece, there would be a process where it would be almost like no matter how many more top three rankings the clients would have, the returns weren't scalable and they were harder to control because of seasonality, because of the competition, whatever it was. And that's where the paid media conversation came in, which is like the Facebook ads and the Google ads and all of that. So there's only so much you can get through Google search. And the other thing is Google has constantly evolved their products in search, where the maps used to have five maps, and then it became three and two, and then three again, and then you have the search ads coming up, and then the people also ask right underneath. So those volatility points are the things that affect the results and the power of SEO. And a lot of people don't understand how that works. They got to talk to someone that really understands why is it that you could be ranked number one, two, three, and get less leads, less clicks month over month when you're not losing rankings. So we always look at how we can serve clients through our digital marketing services, and pay per click is one of those things that you can always control from a volume standpoint. We put more money in, we have premium campaigns, and the more we put in, more often than not, the more we can generate for our clients. So that's the ascension process from back then. It's still true today, but today both worlds are way more competitive. SEO and pay per click, both worlds way more competitive.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, I can imagine. That's what we're going to kind of dig into. So let's just say kind of present day Danny Contractor Click. Like again, kind of some of the stuff that was about a year ago, realistically, pretty damn close to when you guys kind of decided to make a little strategic move within the business, a change, we'll put it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Talk kind of about that, kind of, the marketing crew to Contractor Click. And again, I know some things, but tell
Yeah.
everybody what you told everybody at the mastermind. That was passionate.
It's an interesting journey, and we're here to serve people. At the end of the day, we're looking to serve more people. one of the things that we're committed to, like what our mission is to impact the lives of 1,000 home improvement contractors in the next couple of years. And just at the pace and at the scale that we're growing, we do like to offer service area exclusivities. And like there's some points that we're hitting caps, and how many more clients can we serve in Dallas itself? When we've got you pretty much every little corner on the Dallas Fort Worth, and we got more coming in, and we started finding a lot of constraints in our scale and growth, and that was a strategic move from us. And but at the end of the day, it's this is more than just making money for us. Like, what if we can truly impact people's lives at the end of the day at scale, and be able to take what we know works in this specific vertical, which concrete coatings is the majority of our client base, and be able to bring it to other worlds that we know this really works here in a very competitive, tight, small space, and open it up to a wider audience. We started testing that out because some clients were like, "Hey, I offer painting services, remodeling. Can you guys do that for us?" We're like, "Let's try it out. Like, we're gonna see." And the results and the return on investment was significantly more. And we're like, "Wait a second, we can spend the same amount and go from like a 10x to a 30, 40x return on advertising. So why don't we try doing that with a couple of more verticals?" And that became part of that journey. It's through our clients and customer space. It's the demand just started growing, over time, and we're passionate about what we do, Pete. And some people were wondering, like, what happened to Danny? He lost his mind, he lost his ways. They're no longer specialists in concrete coatings. We have way more data now than we've ever had in terms of consumer behavior, consumer data, just advertising results, way more. And part of our plan, it's a strategic plan. Would it be okay if I just share a little bit about
Oh
our
man,
strategic
I'd
plan?
love for you to share as much as you can.
So, hey, one of the best sources of leads that's strategically but harder to scale is referrals. But what if we could build the strongest referral network among our own clients, and have our own clients almost add up another layer where a medium of referrals just come in because they're referring business to each other? What if you were to add another 10 solid leads from homeowners that were looking to invest into an interior remodel or interior floor? And you got paid every time you refer someone, and then you got more customers every month. What if you have four of those uh, strategic partnerships coming in per territory every single month? Your cost of marketing goes down, your revenue goes up, there's more consistency. And we saw the writing on the wall. Like last year and this year, they might be rough waters for a lot of businesses. And if you don't have those strategic partnerships, Pete, and you haven't prepared your referral networks, you're going to be scratching. I mean, you're really going to be struggling when the cost per lead goes from like 30 a lead to $70 a lead, which we've seen it happen, and I've been talking about it. What do you do then? You put more money into the fire, and closing rates are down. And what do you do? So some of those are strategic conversations and opportunities that now we get to build referral networks, referable databases, but now we get to empower more clients that are working with us, and we get to know their territory way better from all those data points. So that is what we're envisioning for our clients, and this year we're doubling down on that, and that alone has gotten the eyes of bigger companies, and people were asking, "Are you going to sell to private equity? Are you?" And the goal is no. It's if anything, we're going to become the private equity for hardworking people and hardworking contractors that want to put their money to work. And that's the long-term goal. That's the long term for us at Contractor Click, and we're excited about that. So Concrete Marketing Crew versus Contractor Click, just the name in itself is not married to just concrete marketing. We're going after technology heavily, AI, automations. This year is all about automations and AI for us, and then empowering our clients. And we're shortly going to be opening up an opportunity for clients and partners that need AI integrated into their business to have some of our team members come in and install that for them. So that's Contractor Click. It's not Concrete Marketing Crew. So the DNA is still there, man. We're family owned. And we enjoy that. We enjoy the technology and the opportunities that come with it.
Yeah, yeah. But I think that speaks a lot and it goes deeper. And one of the things that I want our listeners to kind of understand is there's a lot of people in a team. And when we look at bringing on customer, let's just say that, because again, you guys got customers across the country, probably international. You look at bringing on a customer, let's just randomly say it's a coding customer in, let's just pick Dallas, just to say that it's not covered, right? But you got a whole entire area and people that are doing the the research, right? The market analysis, I guess, if you will, right? So like can I describe a little bit about that? Because I mean, not every market's the same, right? Maybe Denver might be different than Dallas, is different than Minneapolis, right? Like, there's no one size fits all, and I personally saw that from um, marketers, I guess we'll put it that way, a couple years ago. Maybe one size fit all, same ads for everybody, kind of a bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, like, go through that kind of like that due diligence process of kind of figuring out, hey, is SEO going to work? Facebook works, Google, like what do you guys
Yes.
all have to put behind that?
Yes. So part of it, love the question. One of them is the population size, like how big is the population in a specific territory. If your territory, it's obviously there's not a lot of residents in a specific area, you're gonna find yourself traveling to another territory altogether. Like I remember back 20 might have been 2019 when we took this client on, and we helped this client crush it on SEO from a respect of performance of SEO. Top rankings, number one, blanketed for every term that we could find, residential and commercial. End of the month, how many leads they got? Nothing.
Ooh,
2 months, 3 months, and I'm like, I took that to heart, man. I don't know about, I don't like taking people's money if it's not making them a return. I'm not that kind of guy. I'd rather pay you back your money that you pay me. And I'm like, hey, dude, you need to pay me, but we're gonna keep working at this. And we couldn't crack the code on that one. And that made me realize like we're growing, we're scaling, we're serving clients. The majority of our clients are winning, crushing it. But that was an awakening moment for me as an SEO like that became the point where I'm like, I'm never again going to offer a solution if I don't know for sure that we can deliver for that client. And that became a process. Like, so the strategy in itself, it wasn't about keyword research. It was more of about understanding population. So part of the equation is like there's population. Some of the data points we like to look at is how's the real estate market moving in that territory? Because if the real estate market is not moving, or let's just say for products that are more renovation based, and then they just add a quick fix, and I'm selling to an older demographic, the product might not move as much as a product that might add lifetime. Might be more in the preservation mode for the buyer. So it's a combination of looking at understanding the key demographics in the audience size, and then we go into okay, based on the healthiness of this territory, what are the possibilities this client can actually grow and scale? And you might have those clients that come in and they're like, hey man, I just work with like this agency and that other agency that got me leads, but we're not closing. And when you look at the data strategically, it's because of those key demographic points, which is what I'm talking about. How like it's a buyer's market, renters, the majority of the population. Are we marketing to everyone? So part of the research is understanding the key demographics that buy, and then the home ownership in the territory, how many residents we have in the population, and what's the service area radius. Based on that, if we have specific thresholds, like you come to us and your entire population is 30,000, it's probably not going to work out. Like you could spend way more money running ads to the same demographic. You're going to fatigue it, and the creatives get fatigued so much faster. And there's only so much you can do. I'm not saying that it doesn't work, but you have to diversify in the advertising. Maybe go to television, radio if you want to dominate specific small pocket. So for us, the part of the research process is okay, what's your service area? What's the territory? The other thing is, are you profitable in your pricing? Because if you're not profitable before you market, you're not going to be profitable when you market. You actually might end up losing money, which is why a lot of contractors don't believe in marketing. Is that they actually think we're going to fix the profitability issue. We can help you improve your image, your branding, the results, the impact you have. But as far as your pricing strategy, that's where your coaches like Pete Johnson come in, and they get you dialed in. They help you understand, hey, where should I be at in my closing? Where should I be at in my product? Where should I be in my production? In my uh, when I look at my P&L, like what does it look like at the end of the month? So that's something that we have a conversation about, because in the earlier days versus now, earlier days, man, we would just rush through it. Sure, we get you leads and we crush it for clients, lead generation wise. And then when we look at the bottom line, they're like, I didn't make any money. So, and that's still true up to this day. There's a lot of people that don't know their numbers. They don't want to know their numbers. And then we turn on the lamp. We're like, okay, wait a second. You didn't tell me you're at $4.75 square foot. How are we going to make that work? Like you're paying you're paying to be in business, to be a slave to the business. So those conversations we like to have up front to gain absolute clarity. And then what we do is we set up realistic expectations. Okay, based on this, let's launch this set of ads and let's see what we can generate, and start tracking very diligently the appointment sets and the face-to-face conversions, so that then we can build a scale model for your business. Because unless we get there and do that, the projections up front, whatever we do here in the research, they might not work. And then, you have seasonality, political years, and we can dive into a lot more data. But that's our research, just in a nutshell. We do a lot more than that, but in conversations and deep dives with clients. But how is it that we have a high percentage in helping our clients win? It's because we have that discovery process up front. And it's long, and a lot of contractors just want to get the leads right out of the gates. Sign up today, tomorrow I get leads. But what if we were to just slow down in the beginning to understand your territory, what you're up against, and then we go and fight the battle with some strategies that are actually relevant to you and your business.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, you know how I feel about this and cost analysis and profitability of companies. I mean, we don't got to dig into that right now. But if anybody is interested in that, definitely shoot one of us a private message after this, because knowing your numbers is going to be, well, that's
It's everything.
There you
It's
go. I was going
everything.
to say it's number one in your business. I mean, so everything's even a better way to put it, because I mean, it literally is. And again, I get these calls all the time. And you get calls like this is, oh, my cost per lead went up. I didn't get enough leads this month. And then we start digging into, well, what was your close percentage? Stuff like, oh, 5%, 10%, right? I mean, like, again, because at the end of the day, unfortunately, some people, not all, they want to point the finger at somebody else, right? Like it's never their own fault, or, not just, that's any industry. I'm not saying it's our customers or anything like that, but it's easy to point the finger. But I think the hard conversation has to come of understanding your numbers and figuring out where you literally have to be at for your overhead, your break even, your profitability, understanding margins and stuff like that. And it goes the same way with marketing. At the end of the day, I think what customers don't understand is how many leads do they need to bring in per month? How many run appointments they got to have? What's their close percentage should be to generate the revenue they need to be at the profitability percentage they need
Yes.
to be at to run the successful business, to then put that money back into marketing at a higher rate to then keep going, right? Your scalability comes from being profitable at first and doubling down. And if you had a $20 a day budget at first, then you went to 40 to 60 to 80, whatever that means, you're going to be more profitable. Because if you don't have the money after month 1, 2, 3, because you weren't profitable beginning, you got nothing to put into profit or marketing at month 4. I'm sure you guys have that conversation quite often.
Yes. Yes. It's a profit first mindset. And I think it's always harder when you're smaller, because you're doing it all. And first and foremost, if you're listening to this and you're on the smaller scale, kudos to you, man, because you bet on yourself, you believe in yourself, you believe in the process, you're trusting the process. But this might feel like the most boring thing, that it's a waste of time. That's how it feels. Numbers, I, I personally love numbers. But the majority of contractors, my dad did not love numbers when it came to looking at financials. He understood numbers from like building and all of that, plans and square feet and that. But when he came to understanding his true numbers, when we were young, I remember there was a time when the house was repossessed. We ended up moving into another, like into this small apartment. We went from like a two-story home, and we had to downsize. And I didn't understand until now that I'm older. I'm like, what happened there? Like, you're running to me, it looked like a successful business. He was very busy running crews, but when you know, and you got some commercial jobs and they're not paying you, and now you got to chase money here in order to do this, and there's no crew efficiency. If you don't know your numbers, that's where you get caught up. And now when your back is against the wall, that's not when you want to figure out your numbers. You want to figure it out right now if you don't know them. Or ideally, when you start out, have some sort of planning in place. And I promise you, this is what I love about you, Pete, and what you do with your team at Valence is because I see the clients that come to us at Contractor Click from your world, and they've taken your advice seriously and they apply it. They're successful. They run to seven-figure companies. It's not rare to see that happening for people that come from your world. It's not. It's
No,
not
no,
because you instill those principles. And can we all improve on different things and efficient all the time? But at least they already start out with some, knowledge, understanding what they should improve on. But numbers becomes the biggest thing. And when you look at marketing, cost of marketing, if you're profitable, you can invest more in marketing and not go broke. If you're not profitable, you're you're praying that marketing saves your life. And oftentimes it's like this constant, just you're in the same circle going around and around, and you're wondering, well, this doesn't work, let me go to another business. And that's not the answer, team, because if you can't figure it out on this one, you're going to find the same problems on the next business. you know it really really there's
that's a good
I
way.
wish I could tell you it's different. Can't
Well,
tell you. Yeah, we've
the
seen
whole
those.
grass is green on the other side. You're right. It's like, oh yeah, no. We had this conversation offline, but it's a good way to put it. Just understand your numbers, and I'm not going to get into the details right now, but like I look at numbers of every person, at least since Valence, like the number of people that have came through, the number of people that do X amount of revenue, the next amount of people that have gone on to seven figures, multiple seven. Like I have all those numbers because again, it's for me, it's a stat that then I can talk to future customers about. Because I mean, I get questions about this, like, oh, how many businesses do you train that are successful? Well, I can give you the stats, and I can go give you a list of how many people are doing X, right? And they'll talk to you about it. And so um, those numbers are important for me on my side, obviously on the marketing side, but as a business owner, installer owner, owner operator, again, there's a lot that are going to be listening to this. Like you guys are in the trenches every single day, all day. And any little bit word of advice is find an accountant, a bookkeeper, somebody that can kind of straighten out your QuickBooks and stuff like that. Start going to friggin' digital estimates, right? QuickBook offers 99% of what you do. It's fairly inexpensive. Get away from the paper quotes. Get into Jobber and Joist and Drip Jobs and some of these other stuff, all that. And more importantly, get into something like a CRM, right? Like I preach about this quite often, but it's not just for true customer relation management. It's a marketing tool as well, right? And let's be real. How many people in your people that you service are realistically taking advantage of the CRM the way they should?
Under seven figures, realistically speaking, those that are under seven figures consistently don't take the CRM seriously enough. And they're making enough money to make money, and they don't realize and understand, like, I've invested for the leads. Like, team, if you invest 30, 40, $50 per lead, I want to have you consider that the ROI on just email marketing, you can do the math. You can ask Perplexity, ChatGPT, whatever it is, but it's well over $20 per email record over the history and lifetime of the relationship if you were to average it out. Now, if you invest $60 a lead, you quantify how much money you're leaving on the table by not nurturing and working on those leads and relationship. And also upsell opportunities, cross-sell opportunities, referral opportunities. There's so much money you've invested to acquire and get permission to build a relationship. And that's the thing. It does take time to understand the process. And systems like Drip Jobs, they offer a great automated way to engage, makes life a lot easier. So if you want something like that, there is that. Contractor Click, we leverage high level. I know Pete Johnson, you also leverage high level with your team
Absolutely.
members. And what matters more than just the technology, hype and all of that, it's the nurture and the relationship that you're building with those contacts. Like, how soon are you getting back to the lead? Am I letting it sit there for too long? How professional is my communication? How consistent is it? And can I keep track of my numbers to the point that I know, hey, a lead comes in day one, they're going to get double dials twice in the first day, same thing on the second day. On the third day, I'm going to do one single double dial and then let that go in a weekly nurture and then ramp up from there. Reactivate once a month. And the reality is, only a small percentage is going to be ready to buy right now. And everyone's going for that small percentage and they forget about the rest. But what happens to the rest? You send a reactivation message. I promise you, some people are going to say, hey, I'm ready now, right? You've seen it happen time and time again.
I've done it actually. I coach a client, mutual customer of ours, and we did that. We actually did a activation campaign, a text campaign, SMS campaign, and an email campaign. We did a series right before holidays, so it kind of got into Black Friday, Thanksgiving, kind of holidays, and we offered some specials and stuff like that. And the emails tended to do really, really well. These are from past customers, purchased and not purchased, looking at roughly around 12 or 1,300, somewhere in there, people. And when I talked to them, I mean, I'm not going to spit the exact numbers, but the email essentially was free. I mean, realistically, right? There
Right.
was some money that he paid me and obviously stuff like that. But I think at any given moment, he probably, I think it was like a 40 or 50x his investment, right? And in our scale, for a low term email campaign, which could be pretty low cost, SMS is a pretty cheap realistically. And we have one $5,000 or $10,000 job that is one comes from that. Just that one job is a huge
Incredible.
ROI, right?
Oh,
And then you
yeah.
start
Yeah.
looking at your open rate and your click through rate and your click on rate, and then you get your booking rate and you get your closing rate, right? Those numbers we talked about. And you
Yes.
track that money back to exactly that lead. Oh, I called on Mrs. Jones back in September. Oh, she's buying now in October. I forgot about her, right? Like you never
Yeah.
know. And I don't think people are utilizing that because I know for you guys on high level, it's extremely crucial or important, I guess, that all the leads funnel in there, right? They do that. They set them up the right way.
Exactly.
You guys handle all
Yes.
that. Like you guys handle all
Organic,
that.
paid,
It's
all of
there.
them.
And
Right.
so now you just got to shuffle them down the line a little bit. And more importantly, ask people like Danny and Maddie and his team to help you with some of these automations and stuff on the back end. Because then you can just keep nurturing them the entire time. And you might get somebody that's going to buy 3 months, 4 months, 6 months down the road. They weren't ready back in the 2024 economy and the a political bull, yes. And now come April, they're here in Minnesota when it starts getting warm, they're going to pull the trigger.
Yes.
They got hit with it, but they forgot your
They
name
forgot that.
6 months
Yes.
ago.
Oh, this is like, now that you're bringing it up, if you're listening to this podcast, you're in February, and you're not thinking about sending that email nurture right now, don't wait any longer. Just create some. It could be something. One of my mentors, Dean Jackson, talks about the 9 letter email, which is, "Are you ready to insert whatever it is?" Put their first name in the subject line. So it could be, Danny, are you ready to get your garage floors done this year? Question mark. Dean, right? Danny, and you send it out to your entire list. That email is better than you sending it. Now, if you professionalize it and you have a referral program and all that, you're gonna get different type of response. But the point I want to make is that we send out those reactivations to people that engage with us, and we're like, are you ready to get your lead generation ramped up this month? Are you? And you see that becomes a thing that's not annoying. Now, if that's the only thing you send every time, that's where most people mess up in the nurture. You should be sending out project highlight, projects of the month, customer of the month, employee of the month. We have a client, and we were talking about it this Friday, right? He's sending out partner of the month, like another contractor that they work with, highlighting other contractors. And I can tell you, I went to social media and he tagged that contractor. That contractor shared that video over to his social media. Now that became a thing, so those are small little opportunities that will get you noticed and also be very good for JV referral partners, which is what we're working on amplifying this year with our clients. Is this referral partnerships among other collaborative non-competitors, non-direct competitors to the industry that they have. Um, and the money is there. It's just sitting there. Some people were not ready last year, but now you have a persistence, conversations, better reputation. Guess what? They will be opening up those emails and having those conversations.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and there's lots of more than just throwing X amount of dollars at a Facebook lead. There's a lot more that it can do organically. So as we kind of move into 2025, obviously February, gotten through the election, the year, kind of here we are, stuff like that. I mean, everybody's kind of got their projections of what the 12 months is going to be, right? 3 months. We talk about like building goals and stuff like that, systems, processes to make sure that is good. But like, where are you and Contractor Click kind of at currently, and what's kind of like the focus over the course of the next 12 months?
12 months. Look, we're in a time. This is if you ever thought about Renaissance, like you ever read anything or seen any movies about Renaissance and the times in history where things just transformed and evolved, whether it was a new music genre that was evolved, transformed, new art form, new piece of history, historical reference. We're going through that time right now. Like we're actually a part of that. We get to participate in that. You and I, Pete, we get to build in this new world of technology that has not been accessible to the general masses like it is today. So things are moving. It's not even 10 times, maybe 100, 200 times, maybe 500 times more rapidly than they ever have. And if you want to struggle in this economy, it's because you want to struggle. There's no lack of technology. And the other thing is you don't need a marketing agency to start doing your marketing, right? You can leverage AI tools to start doing it on your own. And that might sound like, oh
Yeah,
my
I was gonna
gosh,
say,
you're a
you're the
marketer. How are you
marketing
going to make money?
agency.
Well, because we are here to support you. Our level of support is not just going to be done for you marketing. We're here to help you through coaching, resources, technology, but AI, big emphasis for us, integration throughout every single department, training. We're doubling down on that. Q1 for us is we have a goal to become the most AI enabled agency in the space, in home improvement space. And man, I've been working 16, 18-hour days consistently, not taking a break. And the more I learn, the more I know I'm staying behind, right? So I'm playing catch up in a lot of things, but I'm having a lot of fun. So for us at Contractor Click is ultra efficiencies, right down to the wire where we can predict based on consumer data. Check this out: consumer data, clients' data, KPIs, growth cycles in a business without a hiccup. And it's more precise than we've been able to do it with our dozens of spreadsheets that we've had. That they work, I'm not going to discredit them, but we could do it a lot faster. So the growth cycles, growth projections, a lot faster, a lot better. And then the other thing is now we're looking at the frontier of, okay, now that everything is getting so much easier, what's kind of like the downside of this? It's a lot more people start doing it, which means the competition in the ad space, there's more competition running ads, whether you like it or not. We're talking about private equity. When private equity goes into a sector, they can spend all the money that they have and not feel it. When a small business spends $2,500 a month in ads, and that's no longer enough to compete and to generate the same revenue, you're in trouble. So what do we do at Contractor Click is the creative aspect. We're doubling down and building a great creative team for all of our different verticals. And we ask our clients, hey, where's the video? Where's the footage? We don't like to duplicate, the same ad for every other client. We have a lot of Valence partners, and we're honored to serve them. And I told you, we don't like to, hey, take this person's picture and run it as my ad. We don't do that. And you know what? We've lost clients because they want us to run someone else's ad, and we don't. That's not us. That's not in our DNA. So we like to be at the creative frontier, disruptive advertising. I personally love that, just because it is what it is, and also the accessibility of user data. So we have a new product that lets us see, Pete, If someone made a search from a residential address, we're able to capture the name of the homeowner, the address, a phone number, and a potential email for that specific record of a search made. So instead of you paying Google search for a click that you don't know if that's going to become a lead, we can look and trace back that user's record, and now you can send a direct mail piece. Now we can add them to a remarketing sequence. We didn't have that data 2 years ago. We didn't have that. We can show that in the television. Hulu,
Oh yeah.
Paramount.
Oh yeah.
We can show our ad in an Amazon Prime directed to a specific television with that data.
Wow.
Now, that's a product, right? That takes a little bit of time to warm up. But imagine someone comes in, they make a Google search. Later on tonight, they go to Amazon Prime, and there's your ad. And they're like, holy cow, we were just looking for a coatings floor. That's disruptive advertising, because now we're getting our creative team to create ads to run through those medias. And we're pushing for other medias other than just Facebook and Instagram. Facebook, Instagram is here to stay. But we also believe that we should always be exploring and testing different things out to stand out. So like YouTube advertising, we're doing a big push on that. And then the digital television networks, big push on that frontier. So what can you expect, man? More innovation, more technology, integration of AI, and a cool product. I'm a little bit too early to announce this, but this is where we're headed, is bringing some of our team members to help integrate AI into your operations, into your internal systems and processes, and then let them run, right? Once you set up AI, they're very, very consistent systems. They're not breaking all the time. And, I think a lot of businesses on the smaller side could use AI assistance in different departments of their business. Imagine someone fills out a form on your website, and that form goes out. We can look through ChatGPT, creating a response based on the type of product you offer, who you are, service area, all the frequently asked questions, creates an answer for you, sends an email response on your behalf immediately within 5 minutes. You didn't even have to do anything. That's like lead nurture of the future, which is happening right now. Now, we're working with clients because they have their own products that they install, and like that's where the getting this done gets a little bit tricky at scale. But we're working and rolling this out with some of our clients in the beta test mode in this specific product, and it's exciting, man. It's game changing. It's imagine you create a project, you take pictures of the project, company cam, and now we have an entire marketing piece that goes out, syndicates throughout social media immediately without you having to do anything else, writing up about the project details, and that becomes backlink signals to your website. We can amplify our SEO unlike whatever we've been doing manually. So I'm excited for the future, Pete. You just got me excited again. My team is excited as well. But man, we're at the frontier of renaissance, where if you're not keeping up, you got to at least be in proximity with someone who is keeping up. And that's what we're bringing back the Contractor AI Summit this year, to show you some of these incredible technologies that the small guy, man, if you're part of our CRM, we can install AI to have conversations and also get back to the leads with a voice AI bot and book estimates into your calendar if you're willing to do that, versus you having to pick up the phone and call. So I'm excited about this year. So marketing, man, we're innovating on the technology side. We're testing, we're breaking things. We want to see how far we can take this. And we're getting very close to being able to disrupt an entire industry in 2025.
Well, another huge thing that'll be kind of disruptive because nobody else is realistically doing it like yourself is the Coat Master. Let's talk about that. We're gonna finish with this because I know you got some good, passionate words to say about this.
Yes. Well, Coat Master is man, it's an incredible. It's more than just a coaching. It's a community of individuals who are here to support you in your journey in business. If you're you could be in home improvement. It doesn't need to be just concrete coatings because the conversations are going to be interrelatable and interchangeable. But what we're thinking about when you want to grow a business, first you need mindset. Like without the mind growth mindset, nothing else works. Next you need the skill sets. We've talked about some of these things like metrics and KPIs and numbers. What is it that you should be thinking about? Like without those skill sets, doesn't matter how positive you are, you're still going to need to face the same uh, monsters in the closet that you got to open up and be able to face. With the skill sets, we weaponize you so that you understand your numbers, you understand what to ask your marketing provider. And by the way, you don't need to be a Contractor Click client to be a part of Codemaster. It's open to all of you. You don't need to be a valence protective coding client, right? To be a part of the world. So we have some incredible opportunities to serve the industry at a higher level and open it up to anyone who wants to grow their concrete coating, decorative concrete business, home improvement business. And after the skill sets, now it's the action set, it's the accountability. It's how are you staying accountable to the things you said you would accomplish. And this is where you come in, Pete. And I mean, you're a man with a lot of passion, a lot of heart. You care about seeing people win and the transformations happening in their lives in the world. And I get to contribute a small piece, which is the marketing, the sales, automations, the technology side. And we create an incredible team together. I wouldn't want to do it with anyone else because we literally jump on calls and we solve $1 million problems. We solve problems that a lot of people are trying to fix on their own. And sometimes all it takes is a different perspective, but it's by someone that's done it in a different category, at scale. That's where you come in and have the honor to sit in there. And Codemaster coaching community, we have some new times coming up here so that you can access live training, not when you're working during business hours, but in times that are going to be suitable for business owners that are running a business as well as installing floors. And then part of 2025, we're going to let you know on some live opportunities to network and mastermind. Last year, we did a marketing breakthrough event, and I'm telling you, the individuals that attended the space, man, they keep sending me messages and the things that are happening in their lives as a byproduct of just improving their mindset and the thinking and the action that they walked away with that. Their marketing is way superior than what it is right now. Their business is moving in the right direction. They have a plan of execution for navigating 2025. Now, later on this year, we're going to open up some dates, and I'm looking forward to creating an incredible experience for growth, for scale, for business owners, and to serve this world, man. We have the Impact 1000 vision, and I get to do it with you. So it's an honor. I get excited about this.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, and man, I don't really got much to add to that, but we've been running this program for 12, 10 months, I guess, 11 months now, whatever kind of it's been at scale. Um, Helped a lot of people and got a lot of positive feedback, and the nice part about that is we can take that feedback and adapt into times and subjects and people to serve in a wider perspective, right? To serve a wider clientele and just to adapt and overcome some of these challenges that we've had and some of the challenges that our customers have had, to be able to serve them better. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about, is making sure that they're successful, and they're running a profitable business and they're being able to take care of their family and everything that they to their full potential. And so, no, I'm super excited for everything. I'm super excited for the live events, maybe mastermind and some of these other stuff, just to try to get people into the networking side of things. And that's another part of that community that you touched on, but I think it's underutilized, is the amount of intelligence and the amount of contractors that is in there. Could be underutilized, and people just need to reach out and talk and share and network and to be able to share. So yeah, we got some things coming out for that. Stay tuned. That will obviously be on all of our social medias side of that. So let's wrap this up. Somebody's looking to kind of reach out to Contractor Click, get in touch with you guys, be a customer, and kind of work with you guys. Where's the best way for them to find you?
And best way, I would say social media, go to YouTube, look for Contractor Click. consume some of the content that we produce there, which is to educate you, empower you. And if it resonates with you and you feel like there's an opportunity for us to serve you, and look, we can't serve every client under the sun. Also, there's some service area territory exclusivity for some of our programs. But first step is look us up, go to YouTube, go to Instagram, check us out. We're real people. We love to serve our clients. And education is a big part of it. So we invest a lot of time and resources in education. And then make your way over to our website, www.contractor.click, and then find schedule a time in the website. And then you get to talk to either myself or one of my team members.
No, it's awesome. Guys, all those links will be in the description below for Codemaster and some of their stuff that we have to offer as well. So, now again, we could do this every day, all day.
Yes, I know.
We really could.
Yes.
But man, from my heart, thank you so much for being on, sharing, and bringing so much passion and knowledge, and really helping a lot of people in this industry. You know, I mean, it's from the heart and it shows. And I think all your customers see that, and your mission and vision speak to that. And I'm excited for 2025. So thank you again.
Thank you for the opportunity to serve, Pete. I appreciate you. And any listener, thank you for listening. Appreciate you guys.
Sounds good, guys. Hey, guys, that was an amazing episode of Beyond the Crete Podcast. Check out the links in the description flow for Danny and Valence and myself for any of the coaching and the marketing needs that you guys might have. Stay tuned for a lot of the live events that we're going to be bringing to you. And if anybody has any questions, reach out to us. You're going to want to jump on those Codemaster calls. They will change your business. So stay tuned for the next episode. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I got you.